Hello there, welcome or welcome back to a new video. Today we are going down memory lane and we will flip through my bullet journals of 2024. 2 years later, but I'm getting this done. So I always say 2024 was one of my best years of bullet journaling and art, and I really would like to show you the end result and all of the pages all at once and filled and whatever, and see all of the themes progressing and my art also progressing and me trying new things. However, this time last year when this video was due, I had a really bad bout of sickness. I'm not sure what it was. It started with a throat infection thing, and then it progressed to a very severe sinus infection that caused me horrible migraines multiple times a day. So I wasn't really functioning well during the last week of December, first 2 weeks of January. And then we also had the whole fiasco with my bullet journal, and I needed to redo my yearly setup, which in turn delayed my January setup. And so by the time I was well and I was healthy, I had moved on and I was working on February and then also March and all of that. So it felt like the boat for this video, sailed and went, and I don't have a chance to do it. Except recently, my good friend Denise from the Papercraft Chronicles posted her 2025 flip through, but also her 2024. And I did binge all those 3 videos in one sitting and took a lot of screenshots, but that's beside the point. Anyway, if Denise could do it, I thought I could do it too. So here we are. We're gonna look at my bullet journals for 2024, and they are very interesting because I used gray paper for the entire year and I love it. I want to do it again, but this year we're experimenting with a new color, if you have watched my previous video, but it's craft paper. Anyway, this is the journal for the first half of the year. This is the journal for the other half of the year, and as you can see, they are identical. Usually I tend to like that for my bullet journals, but apparently not recently. Anyway, these are interesting because I've customized the notebook. The covers are from the Rocco white sketch pad, but I took the pages out and replaced them with the paper from the Strathmore toned gray sketch pad because I wanted the gray paper, as I said, and I don't really like the cover on the Strathmore sketchbook. I like it fine for sketching, but not for my bullet journal. And yeah, so I switched them around and had the notebook that I wanted. Except halfway through the year, I discovered that Strathmore sells hardbound tone tan and tone gray sketchbooks. But I didn't discover them in time, so this is what we are having, or this is what we had for the year. So yeah, let's push this one to the side and take a look at this one first. So for the yearly setup, I did a orchids theme. Orchids are one of my favorite flowers, and I especially love black orchids and also maybe white orchids, and I thought it would be really fun if I did both on the gray paper, and this way I can really showcase the contrast and duality of this paper, which is something I love highlighting. So that's what I did, but I also added some gold accents. Now I don't recall all of the details for the images or the fonts that I used, but I have a plan with me video, or at least a walkthrough video of every single setup in 2024. So I'll have the playlist linked below. If you find something you want to replicate, an image or a font, or if you would like to, get more details. So yeah, I use this really beautiful font. I'm looking at it now and I really like it. So that was a good choice by me. I wrote this journal belongs to Bonnie because I was taking this to uni and my internship at the time. So I needed to put my name here. And then yeah, I just did a simple illustration of the black orchids using watercolors, I believe, and then also using gold shimmer watercolors for some accents. Then we have, let's move this notebook here actually. Then we have my goals and intentions, and I think this is the first time where I took my goals and intentions very seriously, under the influence of Jashi Curran, of course, but you know, when influence is leading you somewhere better, it's a good influence. So I have 6 goals and corresponding to them 6 intentions, and the way I view the intentions is these are like action steps or things that I can do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that contribute to my goals. So I had them paralleled, if you will. So I drew a symbol branch of the orchids here, added some gold accents, and then lettered the header at the bottom. So technically it's a footer, but it's a header. So goals here, intentions here, and I love how this font looks. Then I actually used some like Gothic script washi tape roll that I got as a part of a set. And I cut out the parts that sort of made sense for this spread. So we have, it is a state of mind, it is a matter of the will, a quality of the imagination, right beside goals, which alone with no context sounds weird, but here it sort of made sense. Here I have 2 washi tapes like stuck together to form this phrase, but it says, is a temperamental performance of courage over timidity. So that's that. So these icons here are stickers, quote unquote, that I made myself. They are the size of a hole punch. So I made them that size so that I can hole punch them and it will be easier for me to cut them in a circular shape. And these basically are used to track how many times I work on any one of my goals during the month of the year, or each month of the year, I guess. So we have a graduation cap for like my last term of uni, which I wanted to ace. A book for me to join the Jashi Curran book club. I forgot its name, but the acronym is BBBC. And also read nonfiction, which I didn't do neither, or I did neither of those. We have like a name tag for my internship. I wanted to get the most out of it. We have a pot and a electric whisk for me to cook and bake more frequently. We have a price tag because I wanted to be on a low buy. I don't think that happened. And then this, which is a mood tracker for me to figure out what really triggers my anxiety and anger and such. So yeah. Then we have my to get to list, which is what I use to call my future me problems. But then similarly to what I discussed regarding the future me problems title, it gave me a pass to not work on it because it was always the problem of my future self, not the current self, and to get to gave me similar vibes. So yeah, but I used it a little bit. We have a full page here. I still like how this layout looks. Then we have the future log, which as you can see, I used a bunch. I love when that happens because the future log is not something that I always utilize to the fullest, but this time I did because I had a lot of things going on, and actually because I added a memories section here. So I would pick a few memories from the month and log them here, and that way I would flip back to this every month, except I didn't do it for June, but that's all right. So I used pink to highlight some off days. We have squares, circles, and diamonds as well, just to highlight different things. I forgot the key because I never write my key. But yeah, I used a simple font that had the orchids incorporated into them, which is very fantastic because it adds the decoration and the title at the same time, and it doesn't take away from this functional space. Then we have my financial tracker. I think I'm gonna block off some sections here, but it is basically a running list of my spending, sort of like what I would get in my bank, I guess. And then my expenses related to my internship that I did not track to the fullest. And then also I wanted to summarize my spending, but I did not do that. And this one is for my sister, which is why we have a B and an L. Then we have my academic tracker planner. I have this for every bullet journal when I was in uni or school. So we have a simple section here for me to like list the requirements, I guess, for each class and then how much I got in them. I added a beautiful branch of orchids and this senior 2024 font that I really liked here. And then my 4 classes, because my last term I had 4 classes plus my internship. So I had Management 404, Management 1421, yes, and then E-commerce 421 and Islamic Studies 104. And I aced all of them. Hooray! And then my internship, so I put some details, my weekly tracker, best practices and lessons learned. I didn't really come back to fill this. And then some requirements here, similar to what I have on this side. And I really like how this looks. It looks fantastic. Then we have my freelance log. I repeated the big circle with the orchid, the Sama white orchid flower. And then just a table for the current year orders and such. And these are like migrated from 2023 because I did not get paid for them at that point. So I list them here so that I don't forget. Then we have this book tracker, which as you can see I did not use at all because I hated it as soon as I was done with it. First, I forgot to finish off the books. So they are endless, I guess, bottomless pits. And I just don't like how streaky the background looks. I don't like the wood detailing that I tried to do. It didn't work out. So yeah, I really don't like it, but I also didn't do anything to fix it or cover it, simply to spite my perfectionism, which I like to do. Then we have this, which is my period tracker. I'm gonna block off the details, but basically I have a year in pixels layout for me and my sister, and then I just kept track. Then we have my January setup, which is very simple but very beautiful. I love this one. I'm having so much fun looking back at all of these spreads, but I did an owls theme for January, and I used oil-based coloring pencils from Faber-Castell and also some pink accents from the Colors of the World marker set from Crayola. But yeah, I love this illustration. I had it saved for a long time and I was so excited when I got it done. I love owls. We have a calendar and my dashboard here with an owl. Again, putting the title at the bottom is something that I really like to do that year. And then we have my weekly log. I did like a Dutch door so that I would do one illustration. It was very simple but very effective. I really like how this turned out. And then I think we have here mid-month goal check-in. I think I was partaking in the 2024 bullet journaling challenge, and this was one of the prompts, so I set this up here because I had some extra space. But yeah. Then we have my reading and lifestyle trackers here, and then also my monthly log or monthly review. So yeah, I like this font. This is very fun. And I did not do this intentionally, but I did a similar idea in my title for January in review for 2026. Full circle. Then we have a skincare and hair care routine tracker, and I, went on some sort of journey with my skincare and hair care because I was at a really not so good place with my hair and skincare. So I went to a dermatologist. She gave me a long laundry list of products to use for my hair and my skin, and I wanted to track that. So this was for January, this was for February, and then I fell off tracking it, but I was still using it. So yeah, I'm actually now back doing a skincare and hair care routine, so I'll create something similar in my new show. Then I'm gonna skip the following 2 pages or spread because it's a memory keeping page with a lot of pictures and collages of a couple of outings I had with my friends, and it has my face but also my friends' faces, so I'm just gonna flip forward. We have this one, which follows a similar style to the ones I skipped. It's a bunch of pictures that I printed in grayscale and, journaled and added captions, washi tape, and stickers to. This was for my first day of internship. Then we get to February, and this is still one of my absolute favorite themes of all times. I love how this turned out. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the leopard. I did it in watercolors, and I was so impressed with myself when I got it done. And then this is actually the special edition packaging of a Ferrero Rocher chocolate box that I kept because it's simply too gorgeous to throw. And I used it here. So we have this, which is supposedly my tracker, my dashboard, but I used it for internship and such. And then this is my calendar. Beautiful. Then we have my lifestyle trackers and then my actual dashboard here. And then we get to the weeklies. I did this one style of double weeklies here. And then also this one. This was a new style that I tried and I really like it. I would do it again. And I actually have done it again, but sort of in a different style, but I would like to do this specific style again. It's very nice. Then we get to February in review and also a self-care bingo. So for a few years now, I have been doing a self-care bingo every February. Sometimes it's more like this, other times it's much bigger, like the one in my 2025 journal. But I love doing it for Self-Love Day on February 13th. And I add some things that I would like to do just for myself, to take care of myself. And it doesn't have to be just in February. So if I do something in March or April from this list, I will still, color it in. Here I just signified it with a heart and how many times I did it. Obviously, I did not achieve bingo anywhere in this box, but here. Oh, I was also doing a monthly reset. I should have a flip out. I just remembered because I saw this section here. My monthly review used to be much more involved, I guess, compared to now, which is very simple. Oh yeah, I have this, my monthly reset checklist, and then I would have a tracker for it on my monthly review and just color it in that I did all of the steps. I should do this again because I do need a good end of month bullet journal reset. So these are things that I'm gonna do inside my Bujo. Then we have this painting. Because I loved painting the leopard so much, I wanted to do an extra illustration, and I actually filmed this, so we have a paint with me video of this leopard. Then we have this academic spread for my midterms prep. I do this every single term for midterms and finals when I was in uni. Basically, I have here like a mind unwind, brain dump, in case to like list what I want to do for each course and where I need to put my focus on. I got too excited and wrote finals prep, so I had to fix it here. I have a schedule to put in the course name and then the date of the exam, the timing, what chapters are included, and then what I'm gonna study. Here sometimes I put my outfit because I'm extra like that, and then my grades, which I did really good here. Good job me. And then this is where I actually use it when I'm studying. So I have a timeline of my study schedule based on my study or exam schedule. So the ones with the big circle here are the actual exam dates, and the ones in between are the days that I'm gonna study and the course that I'm gonna study it at. And here is a checklist for all of the chapters that I need to study for each course that I will tick off to motivate myself. Then we have March, and again, March is one of my absolutely favorite themes of all times. And for some reason, I always go for a blue theme for March, which is really fun and interesting. So for March, I did this blue lilies theme, which I saw this one illustration that was done, I think, with like fountain pens. I'll put it on the screen because I love it so much. And I tried to replicate that, but I used gouache and they turned out awesome. And then I used this very fancy font that took a lot of time to trace and ink, but it's beautiful. And I used my glass dip pen here actually, and the way I got the same exact color is basically I watered down the gouache enough for the glass pen to pick it up without changing the tone too much, and it having enough pigment to show up here. And then I used some script washi tape because I was getting into the washi tape thing a little bit here, so I just used small pieces. Then we have my monthly log. I wanted to try something different, and I tried a lot of different things in March, starting with this like not horizontal, like a diagonal calendar. Basically we have the days from the 1st to the 31st here, and then I will pull an arrow and stuff from it. This is nice. I think I might do it again at some point. Maybe not diagonal, but the actual idea of not having a grid for the calendar. Then we have my dashboard here with the 4 trackers that I need to have for uni, finances, freelance, and work, which is to get to, or my personal tasks. And then another illustration here that didn't turn out as well as the first, but I have a full plan with me for this uploaded. Then we have the weeklies, again double weeklies, and I did this one. I vary it sometimes, but at its essence it is just 7 or 6 sections divided on the page, with the large one being a joined weekend. And then this is the other style, very similar, divided the page into 7 sections this time, and the title is all in the fancy font, and yeah, added some washi tape here and there. And then we have my tracker. I really like this. And then also my monthly review that I did in this sort of mind map, very open style, but I like it. Turned out very nice. And then we have some extra spreads. This one is, miscellaneous pockets of knowledge, things that I want to research or look into more in depth is what I'm gonna write here, but I did not end up really utilizing it. And this one, which I still can't really look at it because it blinds me, is like a food tracker, because Ramadan happened partway through March, I think here. So yeah, I wanted to log what we eat, but I didn't use it often because it blinds me to look at, but beautiful. Then we get to April, and April is still one of my favorite themes. I'm gonna be saying that about every single monthly setup in this notebook, I think, but I did some great themes, which is why I wanted to do this video 2 years later. But yeah, April, gorgeous cover page. I used oil-based markers for this from Faber-Castell, and also from another brand that I got on Amazon or Shein. But yeah, beautiful. It's like a deck of cards theme, but I replaced one of the icons here with the letter A. But yeah, it's gorgeous cover page. Then we have my calendar and a decorative page here. I wanted to use this one because I found it in my ephemera, and I decided to draw a hand, like with the card floating above it. Don't know if I captured that very well. It looks good enough for me. And then the calendar here with all the cards cascading down, and the calendar covering it, and it's in black. Then we have my dashboard. Sort of each one looks like a card with the letter signifying what the section is, and then one of the house's icons on alternate corners. And I did here this 4 card thing, and I wrote April on it, because why not? Then this is the other style of weeklies. I saw this illustration, really liked the idea, and then again made the headers for the days of the week sort of look like a playing card. Then another weekly. This one I was inspired by a invitation card, but it's very nice. And then we have my monthly review, which is another one of my favorite spreads. It's like a Dutch door with this background. Again, I think I was inspired by like an invitation card, and my dashboard underneath it here. Very nice. I have my finals prep, again following a similar layout because this simply works. We have my, brainstorm here, then the schedule here, my tracker here, and then the timeline here. And I aced my exams. I did so well that term. Then we get to May, and May is a theme that I had really high hopes for, but it didn't turn out as well as I wanted. Looking back, it's not the most awful thing, but it's also not my best work. I loved how the window turned out. I'm fine with the rocks, but I'm not really a big fan of the scenery here. I like the font though. And as you can see, for some reason, the paint and some parts of the Tombow bled through to this side because I wet the page a little bit too much on the other side. And there's slight warping, but that could be from the gouache. Here's the other illustration. This looks a little bit better, but not the best. And I really like this style. Every time I do tabs, I will do a smaller calendar and then an illustration down in this corner. I've done it a few times and I like it every time. But yeah, I used gradients of greens because I don't do green a lot and I didn't want to do another blue, even though later on I do end up doing another blue. But yeah, I did single boxes with the font and I used just a Tombow marker for this. And all of the windows are done with Tombows, by the way. And then the scenery is with gouache and the tabs as well. And I really like a gradient of tabs, or tabs in general. They are very, very nice. Then we get my dashboard. I did like 4 cathedral windows. Beautiful. And I did not end up putting headers because at the time I knew what each section is, and now if I read through I could know, like, this is my finance, this is university, this is like freelance, and then this is just tasks. Then we have the weeklies, and they are the same exact style. Not really a big fan here where I put the letters in white, so the next one I didn't. But if you noticed, they are also in sort of a gradient, so we're starting with a very light green here and ending with a really deep green here. This was my graduation day. And then this is the last weekly, and here I put like some trackers and my all trackers. And then here is my monthly review. I like to do this when I'm doing tabs, just have my monthly review be very simple and the decoration is basically the tabs. So yeah. Then we move on to June, and by the way, I don't think I mentioned it, but this year my sister was choosing my themes. I will give her a couple of inspiration pictures and she will choose one of them. Some I was really adamant, I would persuade her what to choose, and others she just chose them. But for her birthday month, she said she wanted rabbits or bunnies, and rabbits or bunnies is what I delivered. And I love how they turned out. Every time I draw furry animals, they turn out so well. I used the fun font and then the lavenders as an accent, and I really like how those turned out. And then the bunny here. And I used blue to feather out like a sky background. This turned out very cute. Then we have this calendar. It's basically the same style of border on each one, and it's the same size as well. Here's my calendar, and this is like a decorative illustration. I really like how this turned out. Turned out so well. I'm proud of myself actually for getting the bunnies to look this well. And then here, as I said, is a simple calendar, and I ended up using my fountain pens for this. I have pre-filled fountain pens in like 6 colors, and I use the purple for, the lavenders and such, the blue for the sky, and then the green later on as well. And then we have my like dashboard, my trackers. It was summer at this point, so I wasn't really doing a lot, so my tracker wasn't really fulfilled a lot, but I did have my finals for uni. Or maybe my finals were in May. I'm looking back at my tracker, so 13th of May through the 4th of June is when my finals were. But I start prep during the last week of May, like a week before my finals, so that's why the spread came before May. Then we have all of the weeks, and I think this is the first instance where I put all 4 weeks on a single page. And it turned out very well because I didn't have a lot to add to my journal. So I did a very big header to signify which week it is, then the same in a rounded corner border, and I added the days of the week initials or just the first letter in this very fancy font that I used, and added sprigs of lavender and grass everywhere. This looks very nice. Then here is my monthly review for June. Very simple. I did not end up filling it. Here we have this to cover an art piece that I was trying to do that I did not end up doing very well. It was of like 2 graduating girls for me and my sister because she graduated high school and I graduated uni together. So yeah, I cover it because it's not done and I don't like to show it because it looks horrendous. Then I have my projects list. As part of my yearly setup, I do some pages at the front and some pages at the back. And this was one of the pages at the back. Just some projects here. And then here is like post-grad food for thought, what I want to do after college. And I added some paper inserts here for like brainstorming and such. And then we have a year of planning challenge. This is what I was trying to partake in, but I fell off partway through. I did I think all of these 6 things, but then nothing afterwards. Then we have my scribbles that matter, that are scribbles that matter because they determine how I'm gonna do my setups and such. And we have a washi tape graveyard here. Then we have some swatches because this was my first gray notebook and at that point I didn't have a swatch book. I swatched my major sets here to know how the colors would look like. So my Tombow sets, the Crayola Colors of the World, I had Faber-Castell grayscale brush pens, my watercolors and shimmer watercolors, my gouache paints. I have a 48 set of markers as well, and these are some metallic coloring pencils that I wanted a reference for. And then here we have a pocket. This is where I kept some, random pieces of paper and also the stickers that I printed for my trackers. So they're very teeny tiny and then I will just go and hole punch whenever I need it. So I had, stock for that kept in here. And then this is what we saw earlier, which is my monthly reset. I took this idea from Jashi Curran, of course, and I think I will employ it again this year because I still have not done my monthly reset, I guess, or that aspect of monthly things I need to do for December. So yeah, but this was the first volume of 2024, months January through to June. Now we're gonna put this on the side and then take a look at this, which is from July to December. Alright, so for the monthly setup, I did something very soft, very beautiful, I would say. I used cream paper from my swatch book. It's the pages that came with it that I don't really use for swatches, but I did this pearl illustration and I used glitter washi tape, pink glitter washi tape, and my Crayola Colors of the World. And I think I repeated this illustration 3 times if I remember, because every time something would be off about the painting, but I really like how it looked. I mainly used fine liners, a smudge tool for the pencil, and then also some pink. Turned out very well. And then I added these because at that point I was very obsessed with them. My internship presentation at the end of the term had this exact element, and then my portfolio as well, some other presentations that I did, and then in my notebook. So yeah, I was really loving it. Then we have my future log. I did symbol numbers up top and the cream paper with a very teeny tiny washi tape line here with the background element. It's very nice, but I didn't use it as much as I did the first half of the year, but that is all good and well. Then we have my goals and intentions, following a similar idea there. I have my goals here and then my intentions here, and I did them in this ladder because I did this style in a presentation and I liked it, and I really like how I did it here, but it took a lot of time and a lot of cutting, and this is not the strongest washi tape in terms of stickiness, so I'm actually surprised that it held out 2 years later. So yeah. Then we have my projects. I took this idea from Jashi Curran as well, where we have like this cascading tip-ins, and I really like it because I get to put the title and then just have details private if I need it. But I got my driver license this half of year, and then this is like for my YouTube channel videos, and then this was for project B. And then the 3 at the bottom I did not end up utilizing. Learning from the first half of the year, I gave myself one side or one page for the to get to list, and again I only used one column. I need to employ this more often. Then we have my finances log, which I actually didn't do anything at all. I set it up, but then I never actually came to populate any of these. And then this was a good idea, but I also did not end up using it all the way, if that makes sense. Then we have this for cooking and baking. I really didn't like how the spreads looked at the end in my calendar with the little stickers, so I did this instead, and I would color it black if I baked and have a hollow circle if I cooked, and then half and half if I did both at the same time, and that worked better, but I don't think I populated it all the way. Then my freelance simple table, very simple. Then we get to July, and July is another one of my absolute favorite themes of all times. I did lemons, and I was waiting to do lemons for a very long time. I saw this illustration with the J, and I knew it was going to be for either June or July, because at the point where I saw this, I had already done my January, and I persuaded my sister to choose it for for July. Thank you very much. But yeah, I used gouache, and it turned out so good. I was so proud. This is my calendar, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I love that I used the gold or the yellow glitter tape here. It adds just a pop, and I love it. Ooh, looking at this makes me very happy. Here not so much because it's a weird layout, but I did the lemons, the July, and then here I put a quote that I had to cover up because I didn't space it well. But when life gives you lemons, make lemon cookies, because they're a fan favorite in this household. But yeah, my trackers or dashboard, and then the weeklies, I did the same exact style, and this is what I like to do when I do tabs, just have the same exact style of weeklies. So here with a dashed line and my calligraphy writing for the headers. And then here are my trackers, and I put them here, not with the dashboard, so this page would have something in it, and I could have my monthly review here besides the tabs. Beautiful. Again, I love this. So we have my simple review here with another illustration, and then here I learned about the summer creative retreat. I think this was the year when Jess was holding one of the classes in 2024, and I really liked the idea for it, and I was relatively free that week, so I did attend some of the classes, but not all of them. But yeah, it was fun. Then this, I put an extra page here just so that I wouldn't have to look at this every time I watch my next theme. But yeah, it ended up bleeding through because I had a huge issue with the glue that I was using. But I did this gorgeous illustration for August. Oh my god, I'm so proud of myself. I kept leveling up in my painting skills that year. I don't know how I had the confidence to, attempt this, but I did. I, approached it with a color blocking mindset. So I was like, okay, this should be this color, this should be this color, and then I will add the details later. And this is how I view most paintings now, which makes painting some elaborate illustrations a little simpler and approachable. But yeah, I love this. And this is the second blue theme of 2024. I seem to repeat blue at least twice a year. But yeah, I did Santorini and Mykonos. This one is from Santorini, and I just loved it. I saw the poster on Pinterest and I saved it, and I needed to do it. And it's my birthday month, and I would love to go to Santorini at some point. But yeah, for now, I'm living vicariously, I guess, through my painting. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I did it on white paper, because why do it on gray when I'm gonna need to block off a lot of white? It also makes it look like a postcard. Then we have my dashboard or monthly log situation. And if you wanna know the whole debacle with the glue that I used and the issue that I had in this theme, watch the video. It's quite chaotic. So here we have the calendar, and then here under this painting we have the dashboard, which I didn't use very often. Then we get to the weeklies. So actually all 4 weeks of August 2024 are captured in this one page. And this is very, I don't even know how or why I did this. I knew I didn't have a lot to write, and I just wanted to attempt it, see if I could do it. And I could. My handwriting is tiny here, which I don't understand because now I have a large handwriting. But I guess it depends on which pen I'm using. And here, because I did 4 weeks, here I'm not gonna put any tasks, only major happenings and things for each day. And I had a running list for the tasks and events, so an Alistair method. And I would draw an arrow to the day and then also put the date for it. So I would know which Tuesday or Sunday I did it. So yeah, it worked. And I would like to attempt it again, because why not? Then we have my monthly review, and I used a similar layout to what I did in March. And then we get to September, and this is where I started doing pink for September. I had this print left over from a freelance project back in the days before COVID hit, and I have it because I don't throw away good painted stuff. And I really liked the idea of using it here, and I wanted to do a peacock theme, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to draw it. So this is what I ended up doing. And then I tried the waterfall tabs. But yeah, I used some print washi, some pink, and some lace PET tape. And I put the calendar here and the title. And then if we flip through, I reversed the image. So this side wouldn't just be gray paper, I guess. It would be exactly the same, if that makes sense. I had an issue with this where if I flip to this page, I'm gonna see whatever hanging decoration on that side, and I really didn't want that. So I reversed it and glued it here with some, script washi, and then I printed all of my headers and such. Which is, yeah, it's very nice. I didn't really enjoy setting it up, but I did enjoy using it. Then this is for my dashboard as well. I had a running to-do list, and then here is my dashboard, and this is my monthly review. And I did all of this before my weeklies. So this is sort of my calendar, and then some trackers here, I guess, for the calendar as well. And then I did my dashboard and my monthly review, and then the weeklies, because I attempted rolling weekly, I think. I forgot what it's called, but basically every day you add the header right where you finished off the previous list and start. So I did that. I printed all of the headers, and every day I will cut them, glue them, and add the number in silver. But yeah, I did not like this because first of all, I relatively had the same space for each day, and then it created a barrier to entry to come in and use my journal because I would have to set up the day. But I love the look of it, and this was one of the stickers that a student of mine gave me when I was tutoring that summer. So yeah, really nice. I like the look of it. I don't like having to do it every single day. So I found like a shortcut to this that I used in 2025. But yeah, still beautiful. I love this shade of pink. Then we have this McKinsey Forward program, which I signed up for to, add something to my resume, but I actually did not end up finishing the program because I had some things happen at the end of October that prevented me from, joining and completing this program. But this was like my plan and timeline and all of this. Then we have October. For October, I did my most elaborate theme of all times, this Witch Castle theme. I have a full setup of every page on my YouTube channel, but yeah, I did this castle on black paper. It turned out awesome. I used purple glitter as an accent. And then here's the calendar. Very, very elaborate. I did like a full room situation with the fireplace and the cauldron, the spider web, this title above it, and all of that. I burned the edges of this black paper and inserted it in the middle. Used this very elaborate font, but very nice, and I used glitter for it as well. Then we have my dashboard, sort of like some part of the room where we have a chandelier. We have these like cake stands, I guess, and these are hanging, and I put these ornaments and skulls here. But yeah, spider webs, of course. Everything looks very nice, but it's very elaborate. Then for my weekly, again, we have like some part of the room, and then my weekly on these burnt edges of the black paper, and we have like a wall of frames and hanging stuff, a wand, this skull, a watch, the broom. We have the witch hat, the wheel of fortune, I forgot, some potions. This is like scrolls, crystals, a spider here, and I love these. I love the the raven, but I also love the eye. I just need to close up just so that you can see how it ominously looks at you, I guess. It's very creepy because it flickers and it feels like the eye is actually moving. But yeah, I love this so much. And then we have my October review here, again on some burnt paper. And this painting that I did for fun to tie the theme, have the witches looking at their castle that we had on the cover page, repeat this frame, which I did on the previous page, and all of that. And then let's get wicked here, which I don't think at this point Wicked was out. Or maybe it was, and I have merch mug, but I have a cauldron mug that has Let's Get Wicked on it, and that's why I added it here. Then we have a few blank pages, and I do not remember why I kept them here. I must have had a thought or a plan to use these pages, but I don't remember at all. But next we have November, and November is one of my favorite themes. I keep referencing this theme because I love it so much. I did some collaging and some painting, and I used cream paper again. I did this illustration of a sparrow bird, I think, and it's just beautiful. It's warm, it's cozy, it's everything I want my November setup to be. I used music notes, PET tape, this plaid pattern that I printed, and this script pattern that I printed, and I used watercolors. Be proud, and this font, beautiful. So this is the cover page, and then here is my calendar and dashboard. The dashboard is hidden under this illustration, and I did just 2 illustrations and the rest are printed elements. So the plaid, the music note, the script, and then I actually printed the pattern of birds that I was inspired by, printed the headers as well, fussy cut everything, and made it sort of collagey, but I love it. I love it very much. And this is actually the same weekly that I am using in January for this year. And then this is the other weekly style that I went with, and I love it. I really, really do. And then here's my tracker, and this is my monthly review. I was going through it during this month, so I didn't really fill this out. Then we have December, and as you can see, I did this full illustration of like snowy mountains. I love doing snow for December, it just feels appropriate. So I did this, and I used a very interesting technique, but yeah, it turned out very well. I really like it. Then this is the calendar, but I also have my dashboard underneath this Dutch door, and I wanted to have one painting for 2 pages basically, but I didn't want to combine them, and I use acrylic paint pens for like the outlines and such, and nail art stickers for all of the headers and numbers. And this one I actually painted in a separate video, so it will also be linked down below if you're interested. But I love painting these trees and adding the snow on them. Then for the weeklies, I had the idea of using just small illustrations and then fitting them in different areas around the weekly layout. So we have this style and then this style. And I would like to do that again, I think. And then here I had the last days of the year, and then a section for 2025 in case I needed to use it. I did not end up using it, partly because I was very sick towards the end, so I did not use my journal, and subsequently I did not fill out the monthly review here for December. Then we have a year in colors. I forgot that I completed this. I thought that I left it off, but no, I actually did it. So I used my favorite number stencil and then 3 circles to fill in whichever colors I used for every month of the year. So for January, I used the white, black, and pink. For February, it was white, black, and like shimmer champagne. For March, it was white and blue and like washi tape and such. So yeah, except for September, I for some reason did not put in the pink that I used here, but that's fine. I think that's why I remember as not having it finished, but it looks very nice. Then we have the job of finding a job. I was applying like a maniac here, so I applied. I was looking into working at schools, didn't work out here as well, but yeah. Then we have the scribbles that matter and 1 washi tape in the washi tape graveyard. So then we have my daily dose and dopa menu, and the idea here is to list symptoms of low levels of each of the thing in the dose. So dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. Here's some symptoms, and then here's ways to get the daily dose. And then here's the dopa menu, is where I'm listing things that I can do to get a hit of dopamine, I guess. Like flipping through my journal, because flipping through journals make me very happy, and swatching pens as well. So if I need a pick-me-up, I'll do one of these things. Sometimes I will like dress up, and put together outfits, just some things I really like that lift up my mood a little bit. But unfortunately, I didn't utilize this to the fullest, but it was a nice idea to include here. Ooh. And then we have my key at the back. Very lonely. And that is basically it. So yeah, these were my journals for 2024. I hope you liked them and enjoyed this babble session of me, enjoying my bullet journals all over again, almost 2 years later, or more accurately, a year later. This was very fun to look back. I love doing this because now I'm getting re-inspired to work in my bullet journal, and I have so many ideas from random things that I noticed in each spread. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.